Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about custom content that you can use to make your neighborhood beautiful from neighborhood view. So I will also link whatever I can in the description for you. The first thing I want to show you is the water mod. If you look at the water that you have in your neighborhood view just in a vanilla game, it looks alright until you've seen the water mod in action. Then there's kind of no going back for you. So this is really beautiful, and it also has an influence on how you see water from your lot. So if you're on your lot itself, quickly just show you from lot view. If you're on your lot itself, then the water in the distance will also be more attractive to look at if you add a pool tile to your lot. Now, if you're going to build a swimming pool, then it doesn't matter because you will already have a pool tile. But if you're not going to build a swimming pool, you will need to just put a 1x1 little pool tile on your lot. You can cover it up with plants or anything like that, just so that there is something to draw the texture from. The next thing I would like to show you, these are sky boxes. So there's a really nice variety of them. They're kept under effects, and you get two different parts here. You get a season skyline like this, and then you get this, there's different ones. Season skyline, you could go for this one, more rural. There's one with green hills in the background. There's a more deserty looking one, then the island one that we have, and then also an alpine one. And then you get the sky boxes that basically just adds a different sky overlay. So there's also this one that adds some wispy clouds, watercolor twilight. So you can see it gives a entirely different look to your neighborhood. Look at this one, for instance. Blue sky with clouds. This one with more clouds. Thunder looking sky, an array, or just dead. Sun and clouds. This one with more white. And this is a spectacular sunset. This is a horizon. So it doesn't have a sky, it just has the snowy mountains, snowy desert mountains in the background with the sky. Setting ringed planet and scattered low clouds. This one gives a horizon, no sky. And here's a rural agricultural horizon with the sky. Rosy morning. But there we go. So you can see there's a lot of different ones. Look at this one with the purple evening. Also lovely, and it reflects in your water, which is really nice. There's loads of them that you can go through. Here's one with aurora as well. So what you do is you basically need to place, I'll just zoom in a bit so you can see. You basically need to place your skyboxes at the edge in one of your corners of your map. Now, if you do not have a camera mod, then you will not be able to zoom out this far and actually see your neighborhood from this far. So I suggest getting a camera mod. I will link it in the description as well. There's more than one, but basically any one of them that lets you zoom out further is great, as well as one that will let you do tilts like this. It does change your mouse control slightly, so just read carefully so that you know exactly what what it's going to do in your game. But it's easy to get used to, and once you've had this, it's a little bit hard to play regularly again. So I really recommend this. All right, so that's those. Then the next ones I want to show you is the cliffs. So let's just turn the camera so we can get an area that we can use for this. So let's say over here I want to do some cliffs. Then I can add these. It's just loose pieces that you could build out with. So for instance, I could add it here and here perhaps. There's different ones. So some are big, some are small, different shapes. But you can also turn them around by just like you would rotate an object. And you can basically build out your cliffs like this if you wanted to. And it just adds a little bit of an extra look. You can really make it quite beautiful with this. So, and then getting rid of them, you just select them and press delete. And then you're rid of them again. All right. So that's everything that I wanted to show under effects. So unfortunately, for some reason, high poly objects still display a bit pink in my neighborhoods. For instance, these buildings. They used to be fine, but these days when I place them, they are flashing pink. It doesn't quite matter what fixes I tried, they continue flashing pink. It's only the buildings for some reason. But you get a lot of different buildings out there that you can download. And for instance, oh, that one's flashing pink. Oh. It's really nice to add some decor to your neighborhoods. But yeah, the higher the poly, unfortunately, the worse the pink flashing can be. Then you have some decorative cars that you can place from hood view. It's nice if you want to make some parking lots. There's quite a lot of them. Nice variety. They're called dumpster, and they're under the miscellaneous tab, but it says Quinn Hoodified, so this is obviously the creator that did this. So there's lots, of course. I'm not going to go through all of them. There's a really nice variety that you can use. Then I have some little yachts over here that you can place, which is really nice if you're building a harbor or something like that. Also some fishing boats in different colors. I have the regular buildings that's been changed so that they have lights when it's evening time. So that's something I suggest. Then you can download some loose walkways, which is very nice. And just to show you this, I'll have to show it somewhere that's a bit flat. Okay. You have these that you could also place. Some of them are roads, some of them are walkways. And you also get the tramway. These are part of the tramway. And there's a loose tram car. You can get a small soccer field. If I have a flat enough area to show it to you. There, yeah. There we go. And this is obviously not functional, it's purely decor. And there's Another small football field. Cruise liner. This one is quite big. You can place, which is very nice. And the moorage for the cruise liner. Then there's a big soccer field and a big football field with a track. Baseball field. And then here's a small airplane. I do have a whole airport set as well, airport runway, but you need a big amount of space to place these. This would be the hangars, and there's some loose jets and airplanes. Then I have these. It's kind of like ancient buildings and ancient ruins. So for instance, here's something like the Colosseum thing. So if you want to build a specific area of the world, or you are playing a game that has medieval things going on, or some historical Sims game, then these are perfect for that. So it's just rabbit holes. It's nothing that you can actually use, but it's really nice for a hood decor. I once created a hood where I placed some of these, and I called it like the ruins, as if it was a very old city and it had some of these buildings in between, some monuments and buildings. And then I created a museum close by that my Sims could visit, and I also created a restaurant nearby which I called the Ruins Restaurant. You know, it just adds a little bit more character to your city or your neighborhood. I have some decorations that's from the Sims 3 that's been converted. Some of them are university stuff, like the student union, for instance. So if you're building a custom university or you just want to decorate, there's a stadium. Then you can place these, and it's quite nice. It really gives your neighborhood a very nice look. I think that's it from here. Then if we go to the stones and rocks section, there's some loose stones and rocks that you can place that looks good when it's in water. It has some palm trees growing on it. So it's like loose islands. And then I have some loose trains. So this is part of a train set. And there's a good variety of them. You also get some tunnels, railway tunnels, that you can use in your neighborhood. So it's very nice if you want to, if you have a road that's going through a mountain or something, then that's great. And then there's also some railway tracks that you can place in whatever direction you want. So this is also something that's worthwhile. There's some curves, some straight pieces, so you would have to build it bit by bit. But if you build a train station or something in your neighborhood, that's very nice. And then I have some loose buses, quite a lot of different colors, and you can see them from neighborhood view. And I also have a bus terminal. It's quite big, this one, that you can place in your neighborhood. There are some loose bus stops and bus depot. So that's nice as well. And then there's just some walkways like this, a simple walkway with benches. So it's nice if you place that and perhaps have a park or something nearby. Yeah, so that's everything from that section. Then under the landmark section, these are some different trees that I have. So it's just better textured than the ones that come with the Sims game itself. Just be warned that they are high poly. And then this is called billboard, but it's not, it's actually a crane. So there's a few different variants of trains that you can add to your neighborhood. Then there's a ferry landing, and this is the airport terminal. That's also going along with the airport set. This is a pier. Then there's 42 conversions from cottage living by Tony Weiss. This is also very handy. So there's a lot of different things. There are some tombstones. There's old cars. See if I can zoom in so you can see like this. There's buildings as well, so like old barns, different versions of it. It's very nice, and also some old cottage homes. And this is called Road Arch, but it isn't one, it's an old well. And you can even add this to your fields. There's an old bicycle, some gates, like farm gates. And I believe this is a pier as well. And then there's also phone booths that you can add to your hood. And this is an old bus. Lots of different vehicles, and something like this, which is very nice. I've used that quite a bit. Sign and a bench. Another version of a bicycle. There's a couple of those. There's a tractor. So yeah, those are really, really nice. And depending on the hood, the type of hood that you want to make, of course, if you want to make something more rural, those are lovely. And then under the tree and plant section, I have some pansies. This is by Honeywell on Mod the Sims. So you can place plants in your neighborhood. And let me just get close enough so you can see. So something like this. And you can see them from lot view as well. And I mean, they're not as beautiful as obviously the plants that you place in your lot itself. But it's still well enough done that it's not a problem to have them there in the distance. I wouldn't place them in my lot from neighborhood view, but between lots it's fine. So there's a variety of plants over here. Some have more red flowers, some have but orangey and brown, and some have purple. All right, there's a variety of different trees that it's just like a pine forest, but it's by Gwenke, and it just makes like it gives you another different size the trees, and it kind of changes them a little bit. It makes a bit more bluish your trees. Same here, just the texture is a little bit different. So there's more different versions of them depending on the look that you're going for your neighborhood. As you can see, the colors are a bit more diverse. And then there's some different trees. So Curious Bee converted this as hood deco. So this is also nice, just different. Some of them are autumn versions, so you can decide whether you want to go autumn or regular. Here's a 4:2 conversion from Cottage Living, Tony Weiss. And this is like a log without mushrooms, for instance, and one with mushrooms. Chopped off tree, giant stump, also 4:2 conversion. So these are nice. This is all part of that 4:2 conversion flower card. So it's just extra things that you can add. Here's a broken one to your neighborhood. Here's a plow with flowers in a blue box, for instance. I'm trying to just zoom in so you can see. So very nice, lovely options that you can use to beautify your neighborhood. So yeah, I highly recommend these. I really feel like it adds a lot to your neighborhood to be able to add this. Just remember that when you are placing a lot of high poly objects in your neighborhood from hood view, that actually also takes a lot out of your computer for your game to render all of that. So I wouldn't overdo it. If you have a small map like this that I have here, this is something I created in SimCity 4. It's supposed to be a small island where some travelers end up getting lost on. For instance, this one has loads of trees. I would thin this out a little bit because it takes a lot from your computer. Every single tree takes something, and as you can see, for instance, this is layered on top of each other. So I'm definitely going to just select some and delete it to make it less. It doesn't need to be this heavy on the amount of trees. The final thing that I'd like to show you guys is my terrain default replacement as well as the road replacement. It comes together in a set. So I cannot choose, for instance, to have a different style of road with this textured background for my grass if I have this specific set that I have installed. You get different versions of this, but in this version you can only have a specific type of road with a specific type of texture. So for instance, if I have this neighborhood is lush, I will always in my lush neighborhood have this type of roads. If I have a desert one, my roads will look different. I will go show you that real quick in a moment. This is done by Lord Crumbs, and I know that there's different versions where you can interchange things or you can combine things that came later. But I really enjoy the simplicity of this, and it's not so heavy on my computer that it can't handle it, but it definitely looks better than the vanilla version. So I highly recommend this. I'll quickly show you what it looks like, for instance, with a desert. We'll just use this test neighborhood. All right, so the desert style roads doesn't have that wide sidewalk that you can walk on. It has just kind of like a dusty look next to it. So, but look at what the terrain looks like. It's so much better and so much richer than what you originally get with the game. So I really recommend this. This is nice. I don't even have a horizon added to this one. This is just a test neighborhood. But it really makes a big difference. It really looks nice. So I recommend it. I'll show you quickly if you do a dirt version. Let's just add a new. Now you see how many neighborhoods I have loaded over here. We'll just take this one and we'll take it as dirt. Right, so this is what it looks like as dirt. It actually gives you the impression of a different type of grass, which to me is more realistic because you won't have an area that there's absolutely nothing growing and it's just soil. You know, so this is a different look, and if you look at the roads, it also has a different look. So you can kind of combine this and your lush neighborhoods if you're adding subhoods and you just don't want a road that looks exactly the same. So this is nice. And if you do the concrete version, this is what it looks like with concrete. What I like about this is it still has a dark backdrop that has a little bit of grass here and there, because again, you will not have concrete covering absolutely everything, but the mountainous areas are like a more stark gray. And then look at your roads. Your roads have a more industrial looking sidewalk and road markings. So this is perfect for your city, downtown type neighborhoods. So I really like it, and I like how it blends in over here where the gray kind of meets the grass areas. It's really nice. So yeah, those are the different versions. I highly recommend this. I will link it in the description. But as I said, there's newer ones that came out after this, which I've heard wonderful things about. But I love this. I don't think I even want to change what I have. I really, really like this, and it's not too difficult to install. I'm showing you just a few pictures of some neighborhoods that I've created and decorated, just to inspire you a little bit.